Hey guys, welcome back to another Clash Royale video, and today I'm super excited for this episode because we're going to be talking about new cards in Clash Royale. More specifically, new legendary cards that I want to see added in Clash Royale this year, 2020. I have 3 legendary card ideas that I'm really happy to share with you guys, and I want to hear what you think. So please do me a favor, after you hear all 3 of my ideas in this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know which of these ideas was your favorite, if you liked any, and if you have your own card ideas down below, make sure to share them as well, guys. I'm really excited to see what you have to say of what cards you want to see added to Clash Royale at some point in the future. But let's go ahead, guys, and dive right into it. I have 3 legendary cards prepared for you guys today. The first card is going to be the Engineer. This is a really cool idea, one of my favorites so far. And basically, the Engineer is like the Tony Stark of Clash Royale. Now, you know how we have the Master Builder over in Clash of Clans in Builder Base? It'd be a much cooler and better version of that. Basically, the Engineer is a Master Builder that's now suited up with the latest and greatest Battle Armor 3000, and he has a dual attack. So right here, you can see a very bad photoshopped image by myself of what this might look like in Clash Royale. Basically, a dual attack, massive 6 elixir tank controlled by the Engineer. Now he has 2 attacks. He's got a drill on one arm and a cannon on the other arm. And the way it works is, you know how the mortar in Clash Royale has that range attack, but also has a dead zone? And if a unit gets within a dead zone, it stops attacking it, and it'll target something, behind it. Similar mechanic, but a little bit different with the Engineer, is initially when you drop it down, if there is a unit within range, it'll shoot it with his cannon. It deals a high amount of damage, splash damage as well, because he does cost 6 elixir, so it needs to be a higher damage dealer. But if the unit that is attacking, or if that unit dies or whatever, if they enter his dead zone, then he switches from his cannon to his melee attack with his other arm using his drill. Now, the drill itself would be a whole new mechanic as well in Clash Royale. Instead of being your traditional melee, where it's swing, attack timer, you wait, swing again, attack timer, you wait, it would instead be constant damage. It would have like a slower first hit speed as he reaches his arm out, and then drill starts spinning. But once the drill starts spinning, it's constant damage. Doesn't stop until its target is dead. So instead of having like an attack speed, he sticks his arms out, the drill speeds up, and it's like a bunch of tiny damages that ramp up faster. So it would be like a higher damage dealing unit, but with a ramp up time. It doesn't get quite as crazy as the Inferno does. With the Inferno Dragon, same idea of ramp up, but with the Inferno Dragon, like once it's ramped up full speed, it kills basically anything in like 2 seconds. It wouldn't be quite that crazy, but it would have a ramp up time, deal a little bit of damage at first, get faster, and start dealing more damage at a faster pace. And it would also deal like a small amount of splash damage around it. Because you gotta imagine it's a really big drill on his arm. Anything directly in front of the Engineer while he's doing his drilling would be damaged in that drill. Now, to balance that, he would have like a slower hit speed with his arm. Like it would take a while for his arm to kind of come out and start charging up. So you would be able to surround him with Swarm, right? Even though he has splash damage with his drill, the drill is only in front of him, so he can still be surrounded. And even with that, you could drop, for example, a knight directly in front of him. He would use his drill, and then you can use a ranged unit from afar to snipe him. He doesn't use both of his dual attacks at the same time. It's either a drill or cannon, not both at the same time. So while he's distracted with the drill, you could snipe him with a ranged unit from afar. And because of the slower ramp-up time with his drill, you would be able to obviously kill him, hopefully, before your knight goes down. And he would have the same kind of like reset mechanic with Zespel and stuff like that. He would be immune to knockback for everything besides the log, because he is a bigger unit. but just kind of a cool idea for a dual attack, ranged attack unit, and a melee attack unit as well. Let me know what you guys think down below. I initially had the idea for this card as a hero card. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about heroes in Clash Royale. Will we ever see them? How would they work? We have no idea. But if they ever did add hero cards, I feel like a card like this could work as a hero. Because obviously, it's a super cool unit, dual attack. Maybe if it was a hero card, you'd be able to choose, like when you use it, melee or cannon. Like, you control it in turn, whether it does what attack or what. The other idea that I have for this card, which is getting a little bit overpowered now, so probably not. But once the engineer's battle armor like loses full health, imagine the armor like falling to pieces from the engineer. Engineer falls to the ground. Now he's got a big wrench in his arm, and he goes out with a storm, finishes attacking units with his wrench. You know how like Goblin Giant, when the Goblin Giant dies, it spawns out Spear Goblins? They fall off of him. Be kind of like a similar thing, but it would fall down the engineer, and he'd get up, and he has his wrench, and be like a kind of like a weaker melee attacker. Might be a bit too overpowered, so that whole mechanic idea of the engineer, I don't know. Let me know what you think. But the main idea here, guys, is battle armor 3000, range attack with one arm, drill with the other arm. Just a super cool, awesome unit. But that's idea number one. Now, idea number two over here is for a card that I call Lizzie. All right, this is a pretty cool card. I'm happy to share this with you. I'm really hoping to hear your feedback. I love doing videos like this. So Lizzie, she is a little itty bitty dragon lizard. I don't know, lizard dragon? Are dragons lizards? I think so. Anyways, imagine like a ground-based lizard dragon. Doesn't fly, very tiny. Very, very tiny, kind of scurries on the ground, but fierce. Tiny but fierce. Now, by herself, Lizzie doesn't do anything. By herself, she doesn't do anything. Like, imagine right here, guys, she's running on the ground. She does nothing by herself, all right? But the idea here is because she's so fragile, like she basically dies to almost anything when she's by herself. Very, very fragile unit. But she will attach herself to larger units. So imagine a giant comes along, and the giant's like, hello, Lizzie. Lizzie goes, hey, giant, jumps on his shoulder, and now is protected. She's sitting on the giant's shoulder, and she's now protected. Similar to how you can't destroy the spear goblins on a goblin giant's back until the goblin giant is destroyed. The Lizzie would be a similar mechanic, would jump on the giant, and now provide ranged support with that giant. She shoots fireballs, like little miniature fireballs out of her breath, or out of her mouth, sorry, not out of her breath, but out of her mouth, which is why she's kind of like a mini dragon. So she attaches herself, sits on the shoulder, shoots out little fireballs at units, provides ranged attack, kind of similar to the spears on a spear goblin, or the goblin giant's back, sorry. But the difference here is it works with any large unit in Clash Royale. That's why I love this idea here. I love new cards in Clash Royale that change the way you play the game and introduce new mechanics. And the idea here is that Lizzie would synergize with all of the existing large cards in Clash Royale. So you could drop a P.E.K.K.A, for example. P.E.K.K.A obviously is a high damage single target. Throw Lizzie down, Lizzie jumps on P.E.K.K.A's back, now it provides ranged support. Now, it might seem overpowered, but keep in mind that she's probably going to cost around 3 elixir. I forgot to put the elixir cost on the image there, but she's probably going to cost around 3 elixir. By the way, what do you think of my terrible Photoshop for this concept here? But, you know, she costs around 3 elixir, so even though it seems overpowered, keep in mind that you could use a P.E.K.K.A plus, I don't know, Ice Wizard for 3 elixir and provide splash damage support. So there's still the elixir cost. It costs 10, 20 elixir for a P.E.K.K.A Lizzie combo. But the idea there is she's protected. She can't be damaged until the target is dead, and she protects them, or should they protect her. Now, the idea here is that once the giant dies, if she's on the giant back, the giant dies, she falls to the ground. She has like a short 1 to 2 second like dizzy period. You know how like in cartoons, when someone's dizzy, they have like the stars around their head kind of circling. she would have that little animation. She falls to the ground. She's dizzy for a couple seconds. If she's not killed in that time, she gets up again. She looks around. If there is another large unit around her, she runs over. She jumps on their shoulder, right? So you have the potential, if you protect her, that she'll kind of attach to multiple units and stay alive. But here's the catch. She might seem overpowered. Here's the catch. If she falls to the ground, if there is no one around her when she wakes up from that dizzy period, she gets scared and she leaves. She pieces out. She does not like being by herself because she's very, very fragile. So if there's no one around her when she gets up, she will scurry into the grass and basically hide. And you won't have access to her anymore. So if you can imagine on defense, like you use her on defense, she's on your whatever, your P.E.K.K.A dies, she falls to the ground, and you're sitting at 0 elixir, and you can't afford to get a giant down or whatever. No one would ever use P.E.K.K.A giant, same deck, but you know what I'm saying. You can't afford to get something down for her. She hides. She's gone. So unlike cards like Firecracker, which can be a problem when you stack them, right? Super, super annoying when they stack them. You wouldn't really run into the issue with Lizzie because she would kind of hide when she goes when she's by herself. So I don't know, kind of a cool idea that I think would change the way you play the game, just because of how it works with all of the existing cards in Clash Royale. Because obviously we have, you know, so many large units like Mega Knight, P.E.K.K.A, Giant Skeleton, Giant, Golem, E-Golem. You know, it's balanced by the fact that it costs elixir to use. And you could use arrows for 3 elixir or Lizzie, right? So, I don't know, just a crazy idea for a kind of splash damage support card. The final idea that I have here that I want to share with you guys is going to be the Rocketeers. Now, this is a name that's fairly familiar to a lot of you guys because obviously I think the Firecracker was rumored to be a Rocketeer before she came out. But the idea with this card, there's a specific reason why I want to share it with you. We all know Baby Dragon is everywhere. Baby Dragon is the single most used card in the entire game. My idea here is to provide a flying splash alternative to Baby Dragon. The thing with Baby Dragon is he's 4 elixir and he's got high health. So with the Rocketeer, the idea here is that it'd be a 3 elixir alternative to Baby Dragon. Obviously deals less damage and has substantially less health. Probably dies to arrows. I don't know if it should die to arrows or, you know, probably should die to arrows because all goblins, I believe, besides Brawler and Goblin Giant, die to arrows. So to be consistent with that, should probably die to arrows. But the idea here is it's a flying goblin. It's got a makeshift rocket attached to his back. He's kind of like flying above the ground. He's got 2 little Firecracker rockets, miniature in his hand. So unlike the Firecracker, because these ones are so small, there's no knockback. So there's none of the annoying stuff from the Firecracker and doesn't have nearly as much range. It would have like a much smaller range than Firecracker. I'm thinking like a 3-tile range. I don't know, 3 tiles. And would be flying with his rocket and kind of like come along here and pew pew, shoots things with his rockets. And that's it. Now, the other idea was there's 2. You know, for 3 elixir, you get 2 Rocketeers, and they kind of spawn side by side. I don't know whether it'd be more balanced to have 1 or 2. Obviously, if you have 2, they deal less damage, less health. But if you have 1, they deal, I guess, more damage, more health. I think with the whole idea of goblins, there should probably be 2 of them, though, because most goblin cards are kind of like in swarms. Goblins by themselves aren't typically that strong. Basically, just another flying alternative to a Baby Dragon. But the reason they're legendary here is that once they are destroyed, the rockets on their back go crazy, and they kind of fly around, and then they land on the ground and deal damage. So they have like a bit of death damage with them as well, because of the rockets, right? Once the goblins are destroyed, the rockets fly loose, pew pew, land somewhere, blow up, and deal a bit of death damage with the Rocketeers. But those are my card ideas. Now, I have one final bonus idea to share with you guys over here before I finish my list off, and that is for the Mystery Spirit. You know how we just recently got the Heal Spirit? Now we have the Mystery Spirit. It's a 1 elixir legendary card that can spawn, wait for it, Literally any card in the game. 1 elixir, you have no idea what you're going to get. You could drop it down, and maybe you get skeletons. Drop it down, maybe you get another mystery spirit, which then spawns out another mystery spirit, which then spawns out whatever you don't know. Maybe you drop it down and you get a golem for 1 elixir. Maybe you drop it down and you get a P.E.K.K.A. Imagine you drop it down, it runs to your opponent's tower, jumps, boom, spawns out Royal Recruits. You have Royal Recruits across the entire arena on both of your opponent's towers. Or you use Mystery Spirit and it gets to the tower, and boom, it's a golem or P.E.K.K.A. Inferno Tower on their tower. You never know what you're going to get with the Mystery Spirit. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. This is a troll idea that I kind of wanted to do for April Fools for you guys. But yeah, no, I'm not serious. Mystery Spirit, I don't know. Maybe it'd be a cool idea if it costs 4 elixir. Because, like, you know, whatever the average elixir cost of every single card in the game is, maybe it's 4 elixir. Maybe that would be more balanced, because maybe you use it and then it runs to the tower and spawns skeletons, and boom, you lost 2 elixir. Or maybe you use it and you get P.E.K.K.A. It'd be obviously way too random in a skill-based game, so it wouldn't work. But just a troll idea that I wanted to share with you guys to have a bit of fun. So let me know what you guys think of the Mystery Spirit idea. Now, I wanted to finish this video off very quickly here by sharing with you your own ideas. So I asked you guys on Twitter earlier on today, what are some new cards ideas that you want to see added in 2020? And here's what some of you guys had to say. Number one, Henry said fixed matchmaking. And I was like, that's not a new card. And then he laughed, so that was kind of funny. But anyways, we have a new card idea, the Hypnotist. Basically a 4 to 5 cost legendary card that would shoot a projectile at enemy troops that makes them fight for you temporarily before they come back to the senses and go back for the enemy team. So basically it would turn your enemy's units against them for a brief moment of time. So imagine your opponent has a fully charged Sparky, you drop Hypnotist, it attacks Sparky, she turns around and destroys your enemy's entire push all in one shot, or their crown tower, or whatever, you don't know. That'd be crazy. It's a cool idea. I just don't know how exactly it would work or how balanced it would be. I feel like it'd be one of those cards that's like super broken or super weak, but definitely an interesting idea. We have an idea for the anti-healer. When played, counteracts all the effects of the battle healer. Basically, it's called a rocket right now. Battle healer hut spawns up battle healers. Yikes, dude. Lots of battle healer mentions here. Battle healer that heals 8,000 damage per second. Also heals buildings. Yeah. So many troll. I asked for some serious ideas for a video, and I get literally all trolls. It's like, battle healer 8,000 health, instant tower dead cards, you know? Shield bubble. This is a card. This is an interesting idea. Shield bubble, making a rocket on Sparky more of a risk. So the idea of a shield card has been around in Clash Royale for a while. The idea is that, let's say you're using a Sparky, for example. Opponent goes rocket. You use the shield spell. It protects your Sparky from the rocket. Sparky takes no damage. The reason we'll never see a card like this in Clash Royale, at least I think, is because it would break the game, be super rock, paper, scissors, and we've kind of already seen a similar effect for Heal Spell, back when Heal Spell was like overpowered and broken. Opponents would use 3 Musketeers. If you had poison, you would poison them, they would heal them through it, and then that was it. You had no response. That was it. Game over. So I don't think we'll ever see a shield. This right here, this response by this guy, is my favorite out of all these replies. It is a 0 elixir card. Now, people have been asking for a 0 elixir card for a while now. For cycle purposes, the idea here is you spend 0 elixir, you get a much faster cycle, but there's a downside. So the 0 elixir card would spawn out 1 elixir blob only. Obviously, the elixir blob is the final phase of the elixir golem. You get 1 blob. When it dies, it gives your opponent 1 elixir. So you could use it, for example, to kite things. Imagine your opponent goes P.E.K.K.A. 1 elixir, or sorry, 0 elixir, elixir blob pulls the P.E.K.K.A. over to the opposite lane. Now the downside, when the blob dies, obviously, it gives your opponent 1 elixir. So it basically it costs 0, but technically it costs 1 for what it gives your opponent. So I think it'd be a really cool high skill, high risk, high reward kind of card. So I'm definitely in love with that idea. Really cool card. We got shield spell again. A spirit or spell that teleports a unit's troops inside the small spell area a couple tiles back. I think for a spirit, that'd be a really, really cool idea. For a spell, I don't know how it'd be like any better than NATO, right? Because why wouldn't you just use NATO and NATO it back a few tiles, right? And I think NATO would be more versatile. But I think for a spirit, super cool. Slingshot, skeleton barrel set up, slingshot, and fire skeletons behind enemy towers. That's kind of a cool idea. I like it. So you know how come we have like graveyard and goblin barrel? Imagine a catapult that basically shoots units behind their tower. It'd be kind of a cool unit. Obviously, it'd be distracted by units or whatever, right? It would have to be distracted somehow. It wouldn't just target the towers by themselves. You have to be able to distract it. Otherwise, it'd be too overpowered. But yeah, that's basically the end of a crawling eggplant with 6 legs. What? What are these ideas? What are these ideas? My favorite of this list here is going to be the 0 elixir 1 elixir blob cycle card. I think it's a really, really cool, high risk, high reward kind of idea. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. Those are my 3 ideas. I always love doing videos like this. I know they're a lot different than my traditional stuff, but I think it's a great idea to kind of just start discussing things and seeing ideas within the community. So feel free to leave your thoughts down below on any of my card ideas. We had Engineer over here, guys. We had the Lizzie, attaches to units, supports them with range attack, but is weak by herself. And then we had the Rocketeers, which is basically a cheaper elixir version of a baby dragon that has a rocket that blasts off, I guess, or whatever when they die. So let me know which one is your favorite of my ideas. Did you like any? Engineer, Lizzie, or Rocketeers, or Mystery Spirit? Which one of those 3 serious ideas did you like best? Which one do you think would work actually well in Clash Royale, if any of them? Leave your thoughts down below, guys, of my card ideas. Also, leave your own thoughts down below. Do you have a cool card idea that you think would be really, really cool in Clash Royale? Leave your thoughts down below as well, guys. That is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you like this style of video and you want to kind of see more of these in the future, maybe every 6 months, leave a like on the video and let me know. But guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. We shall see you in the next one.